our newly elected usurper trying to enter the Oval Office at the White House through a window. This genius is not smart enough to realize that an exterior door would have a doorknob or a handle on it.
All right, okay. We're going to. Hold on one second. Because, you know, it is just wonderful to be back in Oregon, and over the last 15 months we've traveled to every corner of the United States. I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go. Alaska and Hawaii I was not allowed to go to, even though I really wanted to visit, but my staff would not trust it. What they'll say is, well, it costs too much money. But you know what? It would cost about the same as what we would spend over the course of 10 years. It would cost what it would cost us. All right. Okay. We're going to. It would cost us about the same as it would cost for about. Hold on one second. I can't hear myself. But I'm glad you're fired up, though.
Barack Obama really was unqualified to be president, and you can see that his whole presidency is a circus, and it's a joke. But I also think that Barack Obama is illegitimate because of this whole Acorn mess. And just now, people are really investigating Acorn, and they can see that it's big enough to have caused Obama to win the total votes, and you know that a lot of those ballots from overseas, which tend to be Republican leaning, were not counted. So in other words, you have not only voter fraud from millions of people that work for Acorn, you also have votes for McCain and Sarah Palin that were simply not counted. And even though Barack Obama had a substantial win in many states, it could have made a difference that Acorn submitted that many false votes. In other words, Barack Obama may not be a legitimate president. The election may have been a fraud. You also have all the false promises. He campaigned on reducing the deficit, yet he comes in and he creates a deficit that is more than any president and all presidents in U.S. history combined. And he also campaigned on running a government that is transparent, yet they're more secretive than the Bush administration ever was. And you had him dyeing his hair for a year. Okay, every morning he's taking a black crayon or something and coloring his head because he was gray. But of course you have this image, oh, he's a young dynamic guy, but in fact he's like Morgan Freeman. He's gray on the sides, and only after he was elected as president did he stop coloring his hair. So that's another deception. The whole Obama election has been not only a case in point of stupidity winning over common sense, it's also been an election that you could call a triumph of deception over reality. Barack Obama is still unqualified and inexperienced, and that's why you have this mess. Now it seems to me that Democrats in Congress really control this puppet because Barack Obama is so inexperienced, so unqualified, that he only has a few people from Chicago that can help him out, but for the rest he's at the mercy of Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, and all those sick people in Congress. And so of course he doesn't have any real power, and you can tell that when he's not reading from a teleprompter that his brain is kind of slow like he smoked too much weed, that it killed a lot of brain cells. Because if you look at footage of Barack Obama in the year 2000 or 2002, he was quick to reply. He didn't have that many us, but from that moment until now, he's really becoming a guy that seems to have dementia. And he may have that. It may be that in a few years he will develop dementia, that he doesn't even know who is this guy, who is this Michelle Obama. I don't know this person. And that would be hilarious to see. And I feel bad to see a president that seems to be so unintelligent and so tone deaf about average Americans. He doesn't give a flying fuck about the black Americans in the United States. Of course, when he campaigned for the nomination, of course he's talking about civil rights and pushing all the right buttons. Okay, Martin Luther King, hey, I like Jay-Z. Yeah, he'll say anything, he will do anything. Then he goes dancing on the Ellen Show like a fag. So he got the nomination. Then after that, he called McCain racist until he finally won the election. And the media, of course, played a large role. But he's still inexperienced and unqualified to be president, let alone commander-in-chief. And you can see now with the situation in Pakistan, Obama is not a leader. You could tell with the Somali pirates. Obama's not a leader. France had to give the example. That's embarrassing. With every single issue, you see that Barack Obama is not capable to be a leader. He's a follower. He's always been a guy that operates in a group where you can get away with anything. You're a senator. You can show up or you cannot show up. You vote president. You don't have to vote yes or no on an issue. But when you're president, you have to take decisions. And Barack Obama seems to be incapable to make decisions. Even in recent weeks, you can see him make a decision about the pictures of this alleged abuse of detainees. And then he flip-flops a week later. And it's been like that with everything. Every blunder, every flip-flop. And it's only been just over 100 days. Now, can you imagine this guy being president for 4 years? I cannot. I had enough, people. This guy had his chance and he blew it. It's really true. He really is unqualified. He really is inexperienced. He really does not have any leadership abilities. So it's time to think about impeachment. How can you impeach this clown? Well, you can start with Nancy Pelosi. This pathological liar has exposed herself. Now she's accusing the CIA of lying to her. And of course that plays well with the far left. They hate the CIA. They hate the US military. And so, of course, Nancy Pelosi will hang herself. Because once you start lying, you have to keep on lying. In the end, it's a pathetic joke. And that is what Nancy Pelosi is. So with her gone, and then next would be Harry Reid. I think in 2010, Republicans can take back control of Congress. Now, Republicans aren't all that great, but it's really true. They really are more mature, and they understand the threat that Iran poses, that North Korea poses, that Somali pirates pose. And they will take more action, and they will not dismantle the war on terror. So they will refuse to help Barack Obama in destroying the United States. And so by that time, I suspect that the acorn thing will be blown wide open. People will realize that millions of votes have been cast that shouldn't have been counted at all. And all those votes from the military will be counted. Finally, in the end equation, the impeachment of Barack Hussein Obama will be beneficial for the United States and for the American people. Because anything less would just contribute to the decline of the United States.